Hey, everybody, it's Cindy here with the Life Makeovers podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to provide a place where I have intimate conversations with people about real life, their real experiences, and how they navigated the most difficult times in their lives, and what nuggets they could share with all of us, and how they were able to get through those difficult times and come out the other side and find themselves in a better place in their lives. I find this to be very encouraging myself. It reminds me of what we're capable of surviving and the hope on the other side of anything. And I just find it really fascinating to talk to people about their lives, and hope that you as listeners will feel less alone in whatever you're navigating right now. And hopefully you'll get some inspiration on ways to manage your lives, no matter what you're going through right now. So you may have heard my interview with Amy Rose Carrillo a couple of days ago. Fascinating conversation, just a lovely, lovely person with so much wisdom to share. And so I just want to highlight some of the main things that Amy shared that have been important in her journey in her life. So one of the things is that she has really shifted into surrender, a state of surrender and flow in her life, and not a state of surrender like give up, just give up, but rather a state of just going with the flow of life. And that you don't have to have it all figured out. She was sharing that she is a student of the Course of Miracles, which is a spiritual resource that you can check out if you'd like to. But she has learned that letting go of control and going with the flow in life, and not feeling like we have to understand everything or know exactly how it's all going to go, has been very freeing for her in her life. And she talked about having developed an ideal version of herself, and that striving for things, striving for perfection, whatever that is, right? Which I've heard many of you say over the years, is that we feel like we have to be perfect. There's some drive for that, even though, as I said, perfection doesn't exist except as a word in the dictionary, right? And so learning to pivot in life when things aren't going in a way that feels good and aligned with who we are or how we want to live, and being able to navigate transitions. And a couple of the transitions that she talked about was career transitions she's been through in the last several years. She'd been an entrepreneur, she'd worked in law enforcement, and now works a 9-to-5 job that is in another field, and has found reasons to really appreciate that new setting for this season in her life. And so she talked about not being so attached to life looking a certain way, but rather to strive to feel really good. And then another major transition she went through in life is she got COVID early on, in the very, very early stages, when the world was kind of just first hearing about COVID, first shutting down, long before medications, long before vaccinations or any understanding of treatment, anything. She got COVID, and it really taught her that she had to stop in life, because she literally was struggling to breathe. And so it was a time that she had to learn to reinvent herself, because some of her most wonderful hobbies and things she turned to, like running, exercising a lot, reading a lot, she could no longer do either of those things. And so she had to set new priorities as she was going through COVID, and then found out later she had long COVID. And so her new priority was learning how to be present in the moment, feeling calm, and being as healthy as possible, and appreciating the simpler things of life, literally even right down to breathing, which of course I take for granted probably every day of my life. I bet many of you do too as well. Another thing she talked about is the importance of not judging ourselves, and that we're so prone to that, especially if we're, setting goals or striving for perfection, that we can quickly get very critical of ourselves. And so she is moving into more of a season of acceptance of self, says she's still working on that, but also is really giving that as an encouragement to the rest of us to strive to accept ourselves as we are. And one of the things that she values is connectedness to others. She talked about how she has reconnected with some long-term friends and how important it is to her to talk to them, message them, get together with people when they can, but to feel connected to others who you really, really value and people that you truly, truly enjoy, and then just drop other relationships that feel unhealthy or toxic or just that really serve no positive purpose in your life at all. And we talked a lot about the temptation to set goals and always be striving for something and to be doers in life, which I can really relate to that. I do that a lot personally and professionally. And she says that how she has shifted in that way is to get really super clear on how she wants to feel every day, how she wants to feel in her life, like the emotions she wants to experience, and then develop an understanding of what the tangible things she might do or go for, or how she spend her time or whatever to create that feeling. And I thought, oh, that's really, really interesting. A really interesting way to approach life. And when we talked about people in midlife who are struggling to, feel like they can make any changes, many of you have told me you feel stuck, it's too late for you, you're too old, you to this, to that, that she has found encouragement in her life looking at role models. So seeking out other women who have set examples in their own right of being creators, inventors, initiators, who've done, things that they really wanted to do for the first time in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. She even referenced, talked about a 90-year-old woman that she knows that, has a great, happy, wonderful life. And so I love that encouragement and really encourage all of you to, if you have something you've never done, or there's a state of being you really want to create in your life, and you just think it's too late for you, you're too old, you don't know how to do it, get out there and look at examples of women who have thrived in their wisdom years, and notice and take note of how they've done it, how they've evolved, what wisdom do they share about the choices that they've made. It's that they've created this, these wonderful experiences in their lives or reinvented themselves and so forth. And see what you can learn by following their example. So that was a wonderful conversation. Really appreciate you, Amy Carrillo, so very, very much. And really a lot of wonderful takeaways. So thank you all for listening. I hope this podcast is speaking to you. If you find it valuable, please share it with your friends, family, colleagues, anyone who might be appreciating these conversations and these slices of wisdom being shared. And if I can be of further service to you as a coach, speaker, author, if there's anything I can do to serve you in your life, please feel free to contact me at cindydwhitmer.com. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.